Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. My name is Juliet and in today's video I am going to do something a little bit dramatic. I'm actually going to be budgeting using my emergency fund. And no, this is not for an emergency. This is actually having a little bit of a mindset shift due to YNAB. YNAB really encourages you to get a month ahead, and if I use my emergency fund to get a month ahead, I'm not technically, because I'm budgeting into the future, it's not like I'm actually using my emergency fund necessarily. Like, yes, it will eventually be used, but I'm budgeting ahead. So it's still acting as my emergency fund because obviously if there really was an emergency, if there really was, like, knock on wood, a job loss or something, that would be the money I would rely on in the future if I needed to cover myself until I found a new job. So like the money is still like intact, it's just being distributed on YNAB in a different way than just sitting as a pile of money. So that's kind of how I'm thinking about it. This video is essentially taking half of my emergency fund. So I have a $10,000 emergency fund. I'm gonna split that in half of $5,000. So I will have $5,000 just sitting in that pile of money, but 5,000 of that will be budgeted across my YNAB budget. So hopefully that makes sense, but let's go ahead and head into YNAB. Alrighty, so we're currently in my YNAB budget, and if you've seen my YNAB setup video, then this probably looks a little bit different. I have been tweaking my YNAB budget, and without getting into much details, there are definitely some categories and some category groups that you probably did not see in the initial YNAB setup video. But regardless, YNAB is definitely going to be a work in progress, a very fluid program for me as I, make my budget really fulfill every aspect of my life. So let's go ahead though and get to what we are really trying to do, which is budget my emergency fund. So this is my emergency fund in YNAB. I just earned $21 in interest today as I'm filming this on November 1st. So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to add a transaction today. I have to pay myself the money. So we're going to do transfer from emergency fund to personal checking. And then I'm gonna outflow it from the emergency fund. So $5,021, save. So now the balance in my emergency fund is $5,000. And this uncleared balance, the $5,021, is going to be put into my checking account. And so we have here that, hey, we need to approve of a transaction. So transfer from the emergency fund category, ready to assign, and save. So now if I go back to my budget screen, I do have that $5,021 ready to assign. So let's go ahead and budget this money. So one thing I did add to my budget recently that I do need to budget for in the month of November is under sinking funds. I now have a daily contact sinking fund because I do wear contacts, daily contacts, which are pretty pricey even with insurance. So I'm gonna go ahead and, because I'm trying to get $800 by March of 2023, I need to save $160 a month towards this goal. So we're gonna go ahead and add $160 to this, and now we're on track. So now November is saying that we are underfunded by $0, which is a good sign. That means the entire month is fully funded. So now let's go ahead and move on to December. So in December, this is where I'm trying to get ahead, because currently it is November. I'm already fully funded for November itself. I was fully funded back at the end of October with my last paycheck budget with me, but then I decided to add some more categories, tweak my budget, and I had to kind of fill in the gaps where needed. But now the whole goal is to get December funded. So we are underfunded by $3,501.49. So that is perfectly fine. We can definitely cover that entire amount with the ready to assign. So let's go ahead and I'm going to zoom in. We're gonna go ahead and fund my car loan for $720. That's just the minimum car loan payment. We'll do $130 for one of my graduate school loans and $122 for my other graduate school loan. So debt repayment is good. Don't worry about credit card payments. That's just automatic from YNAB. But now we got to do rent of $800. Car insurance will be $207. Internet is $30 and electric is $61. Buffer, I am trying to kind of do a monthly savings builder on this for $25 a month, just to kind of feel a bit more secure, especially as I am allocating my emergency fund, but it's kind of redundant. So that's the buffer. Now gas, I'm just trying to be very conservative with how I'm allocating my money, because I go back and forth so much with how much should I put for gas every single month, and I go between like 150, no 160, no 175. I'm just like $200. Just if you have rollover, you have rollover. Just it is what it is. So $200 for gas, $50 for parking. If I do decide to go to Atlanta for my job, then parking, the closest and cheapest parking deck is $10, which I know is insane. Peach Pass, because I do take the toll roads in the morning. That's as you go through the toll, it charges you, but it only charges you once you fall below a certain threshold, and then it just charges you $20. Groceries, $450. Again, this is a very conservative amount. Usually I would just do $300, but my variable expenses give me the most anxiety for some reason, because you just can't know how much you're gonna spend. So I just decided, let's do $450, especially if I have to go grocery shopping 3 times in a month. That will cover all 3 trips. And if there's rollover, great. If there's not, it's fine. Just getting into the habit of funding these categories as appropriate for my comfort level, I think that's good enough. All right, monthly subscriptions, iCloud is already funded, but Google Suite needs to be funded. Nixie Host, which is hosting for a blog that I run, also needs to be funded, as well as Amazon Subscribe and Save, which is my dog's food. You'll notice I've discontinued my monthly subscription or my monthly bill or whatever for Apple Care, because I just didn't see it was worth it. Like, I'm pretty careful with my electronics, but as an exchange, I actually decided to create a technology replacement fund, and this is going to help me basically, if something breaks, I can have some money set aside to replace the iPhone, or if my iPad breaks or whatever. But I just didn't see the point in Apple Care at this point, when I've already had my phone for about a year now, as well as my iPad, and I'm not like a clumsy teenager anymore, so I think that's just a better thing to do in my book. So, but in terms of yearly subscriptions, we're already on track, because I funded this back with my last paycheck budget with me. In this category, I've also discontinued my Dashlane, my password manager yearly subscription, because I found a free alternative that works just as well, if not better, to be honest. So that's what I'm using. I do actually need to bring back up, my YNAB, because YNAB is going to be due in November, at the very end of November, but I need to start funding that too. So if it's 90, let's just do $10. We're gonna put $10 into YNAB. It's $99 a year, but it's just easier to work with whole numbers. So yeah, everything's good there. Now Dakota, my dog, he'll get $100. Elopement will get $200. Car maintenance, $75 for car maintenance. New phone plan is $30. Technology replacement's already taken care of. Fund money is $25. Nespresso pods, $35. Medical, I did add this medical category, mostly just for like vitamins and stuff. I do have like a separate health savings account and FSA account, a limited purpose FSA account, and I'm in pretty good health, so I'm not too concerned about this category. I would like to get to $3,850 over time in this account as I fund it, but it's not immediate for me. $160 for contacts though, that is pretty immediate because I do need to see. $10 for personal care, which is for makeup. And then let's see, everything's good here. Everything's good for Namecheap. We're not focusing, that's focused on 2023. Okay. We're not worried about anything that's beyond 2023. It's literally just there to remind me that those things do happen and I will need to fund them. Alrighty, so now that we have fully funded December, let me just make sure that we have accomplished that. Auto sign, yep, underfunded, $0 for December 2022. So that is amazing. So what are we gonna do with the rest of this money? I have $1,349.51 remaining. I'm gonna bring this down to $1,300. So I'm gonna go ahead and budget into January. And then that $1,300 is actually gonna go on my car loan. So let's go ahead. I'm just gonna do some button clicking at this point. So we can do my renter's insurance for $7, my monthly subscription for iCloud, Google Suite, Nixie Host, and no, we're just gonna hit the underfund button. So we have $29 to work with. I'm gonna add $10 to YNAB. I have $19 left. Yeah, we'll do Dropbox. And then we'll put the remaining $9.51 into Amazon Prime. So that covers everything. So now again, this $1,300 is gonna go on my car loan. So we're gonna hop back to November 2022, and I'm gonna allocate that $1,300 to my car loan payment. So let's go ahead. I'm actually going to do the transfer for my car loan. I'm basically transferring out now the $5,021 into my bank account. We've done it. All right. So yeah, that concludes today's video, this little emergency fund budget with me, but we're not actually using my emergency fund kind of vibe. Yeah, that's pretty exciting. So again, we have fully funded November and December of 2022. We're able to fund a little bit into January 2023. So when I do my next paycheck budget with me, we will be focusing on getting things budgeted in January 2023 because everything's covered. So thank you again for watching. I will catch you in the next video. Please be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.